I mean,
Well,
considering this has been 12 years in the making, it really started big time when
Right,
they did
getting
the Imagine Dragons in the 2014 Worlds. And then it
wow.
was followed by this wonderful, and I wish Gary would bring this one up, is without the Curse of the Sad Mummy, there would be no Arcane.
Ugh. Pardon me. Sorry.
Which, it,
yeah. Pull it up, Stephen, and I can share your screen when you do it.
yeah, pull up the Curse of the Sad Mummy because everybody needs to see this.
Again, I will not play the audio because as interesting a song as it is, I don't want to get in trouble.
Because then you can see, once you see the Curse of the Sad Mummy, then you can see where they got a lot of the uh, stylized art for Arcane came from. Um, and the two driving, everybody's, they had a great design team that did this, but the two names that keep coming up as the powerhouse behind this is Alexander E, who is their hold on, let me make sure I got it. Creative director, and Christian Leakey, who was their sorry, Christian Leakey is their
There you
creative
go. Sad Mummy.
director, and Alex
Sad Mummy
E.
is playing.
Oh, I mean, look at this. This is beautiful art styling. You can see where this was the birth of Arcane came from. And I think Riot actually did it right when they started doing the Arcane movie or show, because their creative team, they didn't go somewhere else. They kept in their creative team. So their creative team had been working on this for 6 years, or at least really started getting into the cinematics for 6 years, telling short stories, especially in music video styling. And I think that's what really made Arcane very palatable, because it was broken down into multiple different music videos, as well as telling a full-fledged story of trauma, the beauty and the psychological damage that was done with war or loss. And I mean, they went to different routes of grief and maturity stop.
Yeah, because you were talking about how the character Jinx is based on Harley Quinn, right?
Yes, and Riot is very open that Harley Quinn was the inspiration for Jinx. And I think Riot did much better at telling the reason why Jinx is crazy through Arcane, from the tragic war that I've lost my parents, and then she lost, you can see where she stopped being stopped in maturity, where she stopped and was a child even as an adult, because you can see that in her room, you can see that in her mannerism. She's still a child even though she's a full-grown woman, and that's why she's
Well, they
crazy.
refer to it as the Peter Pan syndrome, which is why, because I was told I have that by a therapist because I wasn't a kid and I was forced to grow up too early. And so, therefore, when that happens, you're neither a child nor an adult. And you kind of get stuck in that rut your entire life. I just happen to also be good at doing the work I do, so I'm lucky
Right.
and not crazy.
But yeah, she has separation anxiety, and you can see it when she's in that child stage.
Yeah,
uh,
she panics.
she panics, and she continues on as this character. I think Riot did a beautiful job, instead of bringing the full adult version that the characters that is played in League of Legends, and bringing it to a more relatable growth pattern. I mean, a third of the you know 3 of the episodes out of the 9 episodes is about children. And then there's a scene, I don't know if you ever got to it, Gary, where Echo and Jinx duel, and they keep flipping back and forth from.
No, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, you need to, because it is just one of the most powerful scenes where you see the psychological damage between the two. Who, um, from being child
Wow.
mates to now being adversaries and trying to
Wow.
literally trying to kill each other. In fact, I think technically they kind of did.
This looks incredible.
It is. I mean, Riot's team, I said it before, they did it right by not going to an outside source. They kept it within their creative team and brought forward. They've changed
Well,
the
they changed
lore.
some of the characters too. They've altered them from what was in the game and their origin stories.
Yes, like for example, Hextech was already used by Piltover, but where the storyline in Arcane, Jace created Hextech. I am glad they brought Heimerdinger to the forefront instead of
He
being
said Dinger.
Heimerdonger. Yes, I used to.
Dong.
Yes. They brought him to the forefront where he is a counselor instead of just a professor at the academy. Uh, and actually, out of all the characters that they've used in Arcane, I believe Caitlyn and Heimerdinger are the original from 12 years ago. Everybody else
Wow.
has been at it in the last, I'm going to say 7 years.
Now, do you play League of Legends, or
Yeah,
is that?
yes, I
Yeah.
do. Do I play? Yes, I used to play competitively. I actually
Mhm.
was. I have friends that work at the headquarters. Okay, their main headquarters is in L.A., but in St. Louis they also have a satellite a building there, and I
Mhm.
got to meet several of the employees that work at the Riot
Wow.
St. Louis. That's how ended up with several rare skins because one of their employees' wives ran a game store there in Washington, Missouri. And my son, at the time, 9 years old, told her that she was the prettiest person in the world. And yeah, every time they came out with a new game card skin where you could put in the code, he got one of those. And a lot of times he would give it to me.
Oh.
So, so, so I've actually been
Father.
playing it since he actually, I didn't realize that my son, who's now 21, was beta testing League of Legends.
Wow.
Um,
Hail, Tim. Thank you.
Now,
So there we go.
now, as a fan of League of Legends, I mean, would you say that this entire presentation that Netflix has put together, do you think this is about as good as they could have made it, or I mean, how do you really feel about this overall as an adaptation of the game? Is it
oh,
pretty representative
oh no,
of
no,
what?
not at all. No, the
Okay.
because League of Legends is basically a mass battle between if between 10 players that are trying to kill each other, and it's a big massive murder game of capture the flag. It's a MOBA.
Wow.
It is the main appeal to the game is it releases the endorphins of doing good, so it makes you feel good when you play it. It's a very simplified game, and it's just fun because you don't have to be extremely amazing at it. Uh, you can put it down and then pick it back up and still play. It's still similar no matter how many times they've updated. Uh,
Hmm.
but they've always been writing a lore about this game and the
Hmm.
storytelling. They had comics, and so they would release skins based on stories and lores, and that's how they made their money. They actually made their money off of skin sales because it's a free game. You can
Wow.
play it, you don't even have to spend a dime. It's when they came out with the skins did they start making money, and they became a $1 billion company when they released Elemental Lux skin. She went from Garen.
I need to give a shout out real quick.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Matt Vader, welcome to the show. Why aren't you in the panel? Love you, brother. Thanks for coming. All right, continue, Deanna. I'm sorry. I have to stop for our chat.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm rambling on.
Matt says, I don't dare play League. I'm entirely too old.
How old are you, Matt Vader? How old?
He's 1,000,006 is how old he is. Fuck you, Matt Vader. I think Matt's closer to your age than my age, honey.
Yeah. So
and
he's not old,
buddy.
You don't
wait.
have to.
Yeah, he's between you and Keith.
Yeah. It's just a fun game.
I think so too, and I think age has nothing to do with it, motherfucker.
No. It's like
I was playing a guy the other night was just kicking ass, and I'm like, I thought I was the oldest person in the room, and he goes, "No, man, I'm 62," and I'm like, "Okay, all right, this is awesome, fucking old time gamers."
Oh,
because I've been gaming since 1974. My dad bought me one of the first game systems made available. There's a photo on Facebook of me and one of my best friends playing it Christmas morning. Pong, man. Pong was difficult.
Was it the Atari?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was Atari stuff, but Panasonic put it out. And because it was a Panasonic console. It was plastic, but it was made to look like wood and metal. And it was really cool. It had the knobs on it, and that was it.
I think I barely remember that.
Zoe had inherited that from me. She was like, "Does this thing work?" I said, "Well, if you can connect it, it'll work. I guarantee you." Because it was kept well taken care of. And we found the connectors, and she went and played Pong. She goes, "All right, I put 5 minutes. All right, Dad, I'm done." It's like, I figured out that's all it is. It's just that. And I'm like, yeah, there's much more in your head, I'm sure. But League is an interesting game to look at. I like to pop in and look over Deanna's shoulder at what they're doing. I like that 3/4 perspective looking down at an angle.
Yeah.
And running around, and she's mumbling and talking to fucking people wherever they're at. Yeah, it's like, "Yeah, I really like that skin. Yeah, I really do." Like, she's such a nerd. I think they didn't put much into that skin. They should have put more time in it because we care about their character. Shut up, Deanna.
I do not say that. Well, okay, I can't say much. I do own way too many skins.
Yeah, it's like, how many skins do you got, Gary? I got the military skins. That's the only ones I fucking want. I don't want any of your movie skins. Scream, Scary Movie. They offer Rambo and Judge Dredd, and I'm like, nope. This is a combat game. I don't want to run around in cosplay. Because to me, what I play is basically G.I. Joe. Because when Keith and I were kids, G.I. Joe was 12 inches tall, an action figure. And you had sets and you had equipment, tanks and shit. And these were big, and I couldn't afford most of them, but my friends had them, like Mike, God rest his soul, Mike Anderson had them. And so we'd play G.I. Joe. And what I find is Call of Duty is basically, I'm doing now what we were pretending to do with G.I. Joe. and it's fun. I'm a virtual psychopath because I like virtually killing people.
I'm right there, but I
play I know.
Fantasy based.
But I suspect you're more of a sociopath. Maybe. Not virtually.
What?
I had a quick question concerning Arcane, seeing as I'm coming in new to this. The animators, have they done a series previous to this, or do they stick mostly to games?
Well, they've been putting out cinematics for quite a while with League, their creative team. In fact, you can see where they started. I had the Imagine Dragons official video, Warriors. They did in 2014, and then they re-released it in the cinematic version in 2020. And they, of course, you can see the featuring of Lux when I said Lux made them $1 billion company with just one of her skins.
That's interesting.
So is it
You
like
know,
Warcraft where you can just build upon it, or is it like a closed world?
It's a closed world. You know, in the game, you're put in a map and you're there to battle it out. The original storyline was this world was basically riddled in war and stuff, but to stop the killing and mass killing, they had people that were called summoners that would put in champions into this war zone, and that's how they would settle political strites, and that's how they ended war basically between the three. Or sorry, there's Piltover, there's Zon, there's Demacia, uh, the Void.
So basically, it was Thunderdome.
Yes, pretty much.
Thunderdome. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Good
that.
one.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Tickle Trunk, welcome to the show. Glad you're here, buddy. And by the way, while we're here, I do want to get into practice of promoting our membership. And because I don't do it, Mike thought I was doing it because I didn't want to. But the fact is, I don't know how to bring that up and stuff. And joining our membership, the higher the level, the more access to things you get. You obviously get our graphics. And once we hit a certain level, we're able to add more emojis and stuff. But most of all, the bigger ones have access to getting art prints from me. And Deanna down there is now in charge of that. She has taken over all merchandising for Pop Culture Minefield, as well as for me as an artist. And so she's the one that's going to make sure that people get their art prints.
Yes,
So.
and we're getting ready to come out with a merch store, Pop Culture Minefield merch store.
Yay! Yeah,
Yes.
We have a meeting tonight with Lawrence, and he's of course our IT guy running the website. So we've got to figure out how to merge the merch store onto the current website. So that'll be fun. Fun. Because we don't want any mistakes where, I order something for Deanna and it's too small for her. I'm not saying any names, Fat Steven, but
yeah, I know.
But I love that fucking thing. It's cute.
It fits me like a freaking crop top.
I'm sorry, was Gary trying to be funny? Because I was waiting for the postal service to give me the punchline.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry. It'll be special.
Comes in snail mail, so by 2022, I'll get the joke.
So, hold on. We got some more comments.
Neck foreskin.
From Mr. When I describe League of Legends, I just say the game is more like a top-down soccer with guns and magic. Blow up the heart of the other team's base to win.
It's a MOBA, which means it's multiplayer online battle arena. So you have a set amount of you choose your hero. There's minions that pop up. You capture points, destroy towers, and you try to conquer the land as quick as possible from different directions while trying to destroy their main crystal. We're going to call it a crystal. In the meantime, other heroes will come by and smoke. That's it. Yeah, because they had one out on PlayStation that was great, and they stopped it. It was one of those really good ones. I forget what it was called, and they didn't continue it. But yeah, that's pretty much a MOBA.